Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. I hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are taking a break from the Ahsoka Disney Plus show. Despite how amazing that show has been, in this video we are going to be discussing some Star Wars movie news with Lando. We're going to go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video we are going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As a read, one of Star Wars' upcoming streaming shows seems to be making the jump towards being a full-fledged movie. And so, for years at this point, Lucasfilm's Lando project has sat in a sort of a limbo. Initially announced back all the way in December of 2020, 3 years ago, news on the Donald Glover-led Star Wars epic has remained relatively sparse, and that there really just wasn't much to talk about with this project, simply that Glover is a busy man and a talented man and off doing other things. Although I quite personally feel that it wasn't until really recently, like this year, we got a couple updates for the Lando show, and all of them were saying that yeah, they're still happening and that they are still working on the Lando show and that it was going to be a thing. And so back in Star Wars Celebration of last year, 2022, Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy revealed that there had been quote-unquote no movement on Lando thanks to its star's busy schedule. As I had mentioned, Donald Glover is a busy but yet talented man off doing some other things before he wanted to take on the Lando project. However, after a long period of radio silence, news broke that this summer that the Lando-centric title was moving forward and that it was still going to happen. But this time around, with Donald Glover and his brother Stephen Glover would be taking over as the showrunners and writers for the Lando project instead of the initially attached to the project being Justin Simien, who was the recently Haunted Mansion director and writer, the newest Haunted Mansion movie that just came out this year, actually 2023. Of course, Donald Glover and his brother Stephen Glover are very talented, having previously actually taken on the Atlanta show and having co-wrote that together. But this year all being said, it seems as though that the Lando show is being flipped upside down. It may be actually a movie. Lando showrunner Stephen Glover had revealed that Donald Glover starring show is actually now being written as a movie, after the Lando show was brought up on an appearance on the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast. The Star Wars writer had remarked that Lando is not even a show. The idea right now is to do a movie. As he said that on the show, yeah, it's not even a show, as the host had replied with, should we bleep it? Glover had replied with, I'm sure that the nerds will figure it out anyway. They will read my lips or something, as the host had replied with, but wait, you said it's not even a show. Glover had replied with, no, the idea right now is to do a movie, but that's the thing right now. Because of the writer's strike, it is kind of like telephone. As the host had replied with, so I can be an information broker between you and the Walt Disney Company. Guys, they're doing a movie, ending it all right there.
It could pretty much be like, yeah, you know, we're doing it's not even a show.
Should we bleep it?
I'm sure like the nerds will figure it out anyway.
Great.
They'll read my lips or something.
But wait, you said it's not even a show?
No, the idea right now is to do a movie. You know, but like that's the thing. Like right now, because of the strike, it's kind of like telephone. All the information like
wait, so I can
up.
be an information broker
Yes.
between you and the Walt Disney Company? Guys, they're doing a movie.
You gotta.
Bob.
So I was actually able to find the clip there as well as I threw it in there. So it definitely does sound that, for right now, it sounds like that they do want to do a movie for the Lando show. Or really much rather, I should say, well, Lando project. This year all being said though, why is Lando now being transitioned over to a movie instead now? While this is not an official announcement by any means, fans will have to wait for Disney on that one. Stephen Glover, one of the masterminds behind the Lando project, feels like a pretty good authority on the subject, saying that, well, this is what he and his brother Donald are both looking at and wanting to do for the time being as of right now. It is fascinating though as well to hear that Stephen and his brother Donald are ready to jump into the big screen with the title after seeing so much success in TV over the last couple of years with the Atlanta show. The Glover brothers previously have earned plenty of praise for their work on the hit FX series Atlanta, so one would think that they would be most comfortable in continuing continuing to play within that format of a TV show. Although, of course, there's nothing wrong with wanting to transition this over to a movie. I personally think that, in the long run, a movie for Lando would be better instead of a show. It feels like in this kind of day and age, to a point, some shows, mostly I'm regarding into Marvel, if you're a Marvel fan, I have a Marvel channel linked in the description down below, those kind of feel just jumbled around or are formatted with the 6 to 8 episode kind of long sequence and kind of like formula is what a lot of people call it. And of course, by no means do I think or believe that any of the Star Wars shows have fallen into that trap or into that formula that Marvel has kind of made for their shows over on with Disney Plus and MCU. I would hate to see the Lando show fall into that kind of trap there at the same time as well. My only other problem with transitioning the Lando show into a movie from it being a show is that, well, it would be less content. I personally just feel like there's a lot more that they would be able to do with an actual show. There's a lot more time for them to work around with. For each episode, they could do anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour long, with anywhere from 6 to 8 episodes for the overall season, and if they wanted to, they could continue it on with another season. Although what we will also say is that it's kind of funny is how Lando was initially first teased at that as a blockbuster film instead of a show, following the release of Solo, a Star Wars story in 2018. In 2018, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy hinted at the next spin-off will be dedicated to Lando Calrissian, alluding to that the character is going to be popping up back in a film much rather than a show, and it would be a film of his own if for anything. It was then years later that the title was officially announced as a streaming show set for Disney Plus back in 2020, and a movie does make sense though, however, at the same time. That definitely has its perks. Given Disney's current internal strategy, the studio has turned the page on its scattershot streaming mindset of getting as much as fast as possible into the streaming platform, and since CEO Bob Iger has stepped back into the position as, well, Disney CEO, he has said that they are trying to step away from Disney Plus projects. This just goes for everything and anything that's been over on Disney Plus, mostly for Star Wars and Marvel, because those ones are usually the ones that have shows over on the streaming platform. So I do believe that it also has the kind of in its favor at the same time as well. And so now that the House of Mouse is much more focused on quality over quantity at the same time as well, as it aims to get people back into the theaters with a familiar IP for Star Wars. This effort can also be seen with the 3 new Star Wars films that were just officially announced back at Star Wars Celebration earlier this year, and so perhaps the Lando film will be next, providing fans with yet another Lucasfilm movie to get excited about. This year all being said, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. What would you want to see with a Lando movie? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been an official Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.